Welcome back, everyone. We're Simply Bitcoin. We break down the news, the daily fail, meme review, software releases, hardware releases, and the plebsites. Joining us today, we've got co-host of Bitcoin Kindergarten, Optimus Fields at My Living Truth, and another special guest, return guest. I'm talking about Greg Zaj from the Meme Factory and the Meme Factory podcast. What's up, guys?
Yo, can I get one of those?
There we go. All right. So as you can see, this is going to be an extra highly regarded episode. Anyways, let's dive into the numbers. Let's do it, people.
Number time. Brought to you by Nodl. They make some of the best Bitcoin nodes, like the Nodl 1. Check it out. It's made in metal. And my personal favorite, the Nodl Dojo. It's in red. That means it's faster. Mix your own coins, run Dojo, run your own personal version of Bitcoin Core and the Lightning Network, all in the comfort of your own home. Remember, guys, if you don't run your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. That's a big no-no for privacy. So get yourself a Nodl today.
At the time of this recording, the block height is 738,753. The Bitcoin price, 32,110. Chain rewrite days, 765. Total public lightning capacity, 3,915.2. Went up like 13 Bitcoin from yesterday. Anyways, Moscow time, 3114. Blocks to the halvening, 101,247. And the Samurai Whirlpool, unspent capacity. Samurai Whirlpool is a coin join or collaborative spend. It is not a mixing service. And the unspent capacity for that pool is 4,772.28. Nico, Greg, Optimist, the numbers.
The numbers, bro. And you see that that Samurai unspent capacity? Well, you could use Samurai in the Nodl. In the red Nodl. Has the Samurai on it. Yeah, just a hint. Anyways, so I have some very interesting stats that I wanted to pull up today. First one by
Before we pull out of the numbers here, boys.
No, we're still in the numbers.
Boys. It's almost 100,000 blocks till the halvening.
Woo!
And so the halving party.
And then the halving party, which we're not invited to because we're B-list plebs.
Oh no, you're invited.
We're not at the level of the meme fact. By the way, for anyone who's wondering, I'm traveling. I'm not going to do it with the green screen. I've done that in the past. It's been a total disaster. So I still got the fancy light. I got the fancy camera. I got the microphone. I hope it's good enough for an episode or two. But anyways, okay. Check this out. I got some numbers, and I'm trying to read Phil's face, but he's never made that face before, so I don't know what it means.
Because okay, so hold on. The reason why I'm making this face, the reason why I'm making this face is because I'm like, you know what? We were supposed to have a halvening party. The last halvening, it never happened. Okay, and everybody. Okay, this is the weirdest thing. Everybody just looks to somebody else to organize it.
Yeah, the Meme Factory.
Like I had people DMing me
Big Sean Harris is organizing the halvening party.
For real though?
For real. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, Nico. Go on. All right. No more weird faces from Phil.
Halving party that you've announced to the public that now everyone's going to want to get invited to.
We announce it every Meme Factory.
Hit up Big Sean. Now you know. All right. Moving on to the interesting stats. Check this out by the Amber app. And I think it's a really good visualization of what's going to happen to the Bitcoin supply every time there's a halving.
We can't say it right. It doesn't matter. I say halvening. I know it's totally wrong. People call it halving.
So that's absolutely crazy. Like, just back up. Like, we're right there in Bitcoin's history and not too long, right? Yeah. Remember, the last coin is going to be mined till like 2142, right? But every time it gets progressively cut in half. So it just keeps getting cut in half and cut in half and cut in half. And I think that by next cycle, Bitcoin's official inflation rate is actually going to be lower than gold, which is a very, very big deal. But anyways, other numbers I want to talk to you guys about before I get your thoughts. I just thought that mining halving visualization thing was interesting. Check this out. This is what defeats the shitcoin narrative, right? is the Lightning Network. The Lightning Network has a theoretical throughput of 40 million transactions per second. That's the equivalent of 14.4 terabyte size blocks every 10 minutes. Lightning enables Bitcoin to be a planetary scale decentralized medium of exchange. And here's a visualization. Remember, all the shitcoins, including BSV, including BCH, including Bitcoin Cash, right? Or Bcash, because I know like they like that we say it that way. Here is, the Lightning Network in terms of the amount of transactions. Here's Solana, which we obviously know is centralized, right? It's literally shut down. They had to reboot it like a computer already.
A few times, yeah.
Here's
in July.
Here's the World Economic Forum coin. Ethereum. Here's the central bank. XRP.
Bitcoin.
And here is just Bcash, because I know they love Bcash. Now, here's the thing: another narrative that the shitcoiners would like you to believe, or the altcoiners, right, is the fact it's like no one's using the Lightning Network, right? I disagree. Here is some Glassnode stats. The Lightning Network capacity, right? And if you go here, it's just going parabolic, right? The higher this number goes, right, the more people will be able to transact through the Lightning Network. 3,908 Bitcoin is roughly $125 million. I know that's not big enough for it to be a global financial network, but I think it will get there sooner rather than later, because look at it. The numbers speak for itself. Like I don't have to sell it to you. Like the chart shows it. It's literally gone parabolic. There is a use case. Unlike fucking Banana Coin that, like what are you going to do? You're going to sell your fiat to buy Banana Coin to, use that? Like, I don't know, bro. Maybe I'm just talking shit. Optimus, what are your thoughts? Then we'll go to Phil, and then Greg, or Phil, or Optimus.
Can we come back to me? My internet just fell out, so I lost the last minute.
Do you need to go to the doctor?
Oh, go ahead.
Are they going to put it back in? Your internet?
I am back, so it's back in, Greg.
Where did it fall out of?
The sky. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
I really felt like Optimus was in another dimension for like the last 30 seconds. There was some weirdness going on with the screen. I'm like,
I was
now.
I was having a hard time keeping up with my train of thought, seeing Optimus's screen change. I'm like, I'm saying something smart, I think, and then it's like, ooh, colors. Look at those colors. Those colors look great.
Yeah, exactly, right. But look.
Distract you.
But look, in all seriousness, in terms of the Lightning Network, it's really been picking up, I'd say, in the last 2 years. Back in 2018, it was like you were tinkering with it. It was slightly difficult for some of us that are, not, maybe not programmers or people who don't know how to compile code. But it got significantly easier, and now the companies are, like, they're starting to make some really cool, easy to use tools. And you know what we're starting to see? We're starting to see the all-in-one nodes, right? Like the Start 9 from Embassy, right? Or, even like the Nodl, the MyNode, the Raspberry Blitz, all of these nodes are like Swiss Army knives of financial services. And what's really cool is that some of them are starting to bundle really, fantastic privacy services like Bitwarden, right? For your password generation, or encrypted messaging services, or being able to set up your own encrypted messenger service, or chat service, such
Sphinx.
as like. Sorry? Yes, exactly. Sphinx. That's right. Yeah. So look, we're in year this is like year 4, year 5. If you really look at Lightning, this is nothing. This is what people don't understand. So when we're going to be looking at this in, let's say 3 to 5 years, it's going to be absolutely insane. And the last piece I want to say about it is Lightning isn't our silver bullet, right? Like, I know that right now we tout Lightning very highly, and it is great. But the reality is that it doesn't fix all of quote unquote Bitcoin scaling. And this is why there's people like Tajay Drija that are working on something called L2, ELTOO, I believe it is. And this is something that is going to come into play that I don't know very much about, but I do know that it has something to do with building on Lightning's strength and helping with the overall, broadening Bitcoin ecosystem. So anyways, look, bullish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's bullish. Zoom out of the price noise, look at the development. This is what's happening.
It sounds like it kills the shitcoin narratives, right? I'm just going to keep hammering that home, right? Lightning defeats the purpose of your shitcoin.
We can't forget about the Liquid network either.
That's true.
Similar capacity, pegged in 3.5 thousand Bitcoin versus 2.9.
Oh, yeah. And it's built on Bitcoin. We're actually trying to get Adam back on the show, which he agreed to, but nah, so we're trying to get him. We're doing our best.
Backed out for the time being.
He's out of back, man. He's out of back. I know. He's got better stuff to do.
He answers, then he doesn't. He's coming around to it.
He'll come eventually to explain the Liquid network, because it is really interesting. We do get that question.
Super interesting stuff.
A lot. Anyways, Optimus, tied up before we move on to the Daily Fail.
Well, I'm super bullish on Lightning.
Dude, you look like a fucking mass murderer, bro. Okay, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say what everyone's thinking.
Well, shouts out to everyone in the chat saying that I looked really ominous and scary yesterday. And shouts out to Honk Hogan for giving me shit about sounding muffled. So hopefully I find a mask that sounds good for you guys. But yeah, dude, bullish on Lightning. I just love the experience of using Lightning. Like it's even faster than using credit cards and anything on the internet. Like I don't have to put anything in. I just scan something and I pay and I'm good. Like that should be the user experience for paying on the internet and in person. So, bullish to see it get fleshed out. And like Phil was saying, it's only been like 4 years, guys. And it's, I'm buying it and I'm using stuff with Lightning and I don't know. I don't see too much problems with it. It works for me, and shitcoiners are wrecked. So
are you running a Lightning node right now?
Yes, I have a LND node through BTC Pay server. Highly recommend BTC Pay server.
Hell yeah! And have any of you experimented with C Lightning?
I haven't. I am about to run. I have to shut down one of my nodes, so I'm gonna spin up a C Lightning and see what's good with that.
Dude, C Lightning's where it's at.
You guys are all flexing your Lightning stuff.
So which node runs C Lightning? Like which one could be running the C Lightning instance though? Because as of right now, what I know is that I think almost all of them are running on LND. Like my node runs on LND. I know Raspberry Blitz uses LND. I believe Start9 uses LND, although I feel like they have C Lightning as well. Anyways,
I don't know.
All right, that's a good transition. Phil, it's time for
the Daily Fail. Brought to you by Swan. Check them out, swanbitcoin.com. That's right. It is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans, instant purchases. It is a stacking site by fellow plebs. They're going to have an app very soon, and the link is down below. Finally, we can start the fail. So here we go. We've got two different fails. We've got, first, the bankers, and how they are scumbags, and how it's rules for thee and not for me, and how, in this particular case, the ESG narrative was used simply to line their own pockets. I know everyone is extremely surprised and shocked. I could see the look on everyone's faces. And then the second fail is going to be a shitcoin fail. So let's dive into this Bloomberg article about Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank, DWS raided over allegations of greenwashing. That's right. That's where you essentially, for example, use the ESG narrative to sell financial products. That's considered a form of greenwashing. Anyways, Deutsche Bank AG and its asset management unit had their Frankfurt offices raided by police. The search is related to accusations of greenwashing against the asset manager. DWS has faced regulatory probes in the US and Germany after its former chief sustainability officer, Desiree Fixler, alleged last year that the company inflated its ESG credentials. Yeah, it's interesting how companies, they on their ethics side, they teach you that they want you to be truth tellers and they want you to call things out, but they don't really want you to call things out. What they want you to do is tote the company line. Anyways, yeah.
I want to call something out. This person's name. Who names their kid Desiree? I don't think it's Desiree. It's Desiree. Desiree Fixler. Sounds like somebody who got bullied.
It's Desiree.
All through high school.
And it's not Deutsche Bank. It's Douchebank.
Douchebag.
Obviously.
Yeah,
You know what? Going back to Greg's earlier points, Phil can't read.
No.
I know it's Nico. I know it's Nico.
There could only be one that can't read, bro.
Well,
if both of us
can't read because. Okay, let's go. Okay, we're trying to be serious, trying to be focused. Here we go.
Okay,
The raid is a high-profile early example of lenders facing legal consequences for greenwashing. Greg, I need serious version of Greg here. Okay. Mixler has said that DWS's claims that hundreds of billions of its assets under management were ESG integrated. I know you like that, Greg. I know you're a fan.
I don't know
of
what that
ESG
means.
integration.
I'm just looking at ESG integrated. Looks like,
I mean,
they're words. They're words and letters.
words.
But what does that mean?
Great words.
What does that
All
mean?
right. But you know what? They were misled because the label didn't translate into meaningful action by relevant fund managers. DWS has since stopped using the label.
Good.
Oh my gosh, we are definitely shocked. Douche Bank, top echelon, has been drawn into the greenwashing affair as well. Regulators probing the issue have asked the lender about the role of Deputy CEO Carl Van Roor, who is also the chairman of DWS's supervisory board. He was the main recipient of Fixler's email when she first flagged her ESG concerns to her DWS shortly after she was fired. No way. No way. Fired for telling the truth and calling the company out on its bullshit? We're so surprised. The latest raid comes about a month after Douche Bank headquarters were searched over suspicions that it was too late in reporting potential money laundering. Okay, now check this out. This is the same piece, okay, but reported from the New York Post. They explained that last week, the SEC said BNY Mellon Investment Advisor had paid $1.5 million to resolve charges in misstated ESG investment policies for some mutual funds it managed. That's right. We're going to say it. I know it's going to be tough for some people to hear. The institutions, the giant institutions, don't give a shit about the environment. Okay, that all of this stuff about climate change, all of this show, this theater that we've watched is complete nonsense. Because at the end of the day, what these giant institutions understand is that they can use everyone's gullibility for their profit, and that's exactly what they've done. And sadly, although we're supposed to be cheering that they got slapped on the wrist, we all know this is pay to play. $1.5 million to BNY. I mean, who cares? That's
right.
Nothing. 1.5 mil, you know, and the other bank, the same thing, you know, Douche Bank. I mean, look, it's theater to me. They don't really give a shit, but we really need to be afraid because these are the people that have access to the corporate owned media and they are the ones that are spouting all of this garbage about ESG. Anyways, before we go on to the shitcoin part of the fail, let's start first with let's go with Nico. Nico, what are your thoughts on this one, man?
Yeah, look, so to be specific, right, we've said this many times, and I think that we get very angry and upset about the environment, but it's not necessarily because we don't believe in climate change. We don't believe that the planet should be taken care of. But what we do fundamentally disagree with are these institutions, that these so-called bettors that fly to Glasgow for the climate forum in private jets. They fly to Davos in private jets. They take, the biggest gas guzzling cars, right? So you have John Kerry flying all over the planet in a private jet, dude. For one individual flying in a private jet, that is literally the least efficient form of using fossil fuels, right? You burn the most amount of CO2 you just release into the atmosphere. But these are the people trying to tell you, which is why we're so critical of ESG. And an example of that lately, right? And the reason it has to do with Bitcoin is because they use that as a form to attack Bitcoin. That's what the New York State assembly did, right, for climate reasons, for climate purposes, right? ESG is the social credit system. And the last example and the best example is Elon Musk being included in the top Fortune 500 ESG companies. Tesla was not included, but ExxonMobil was included. What has done more for sustainability and the environment? Tesla and an electric car company, right? Or a fossil fuel company? What has done more? But of course, it goes with the fossil fuel company because ESG is not really about fixing the environment. It's really about establishing a moat, right? A regulatory moat, so that there's least competition, and of course, so that you could be happy and own nothing by 2030, right? This is all part of, the Davos agenda, right? So yeah, man, F the ESG, it's BS, but that doesn't mean that we don't care for the planet. We do care for the planet. In fact, we care about the planet so much that we want everybody to turn on a Bitcoin miner, because that will facilitate, right, more innovation in the green sector, making it profitable, not just relying on government subsidies alone. So yeah, Klaus Schwab, suck on that. Anyways, Greg, what are your thoughts?
I just think the whole thing's silly, right? So like ESG, it's environmental, social, and governance. They're just like, they're control standards put in place. So like, all right, so these are the rules we're going to play by, because then we can tweak the knobs on what exactly you can do. And like at the same time, it's perfectly clear that Deutsche Bank, who wants to make money.
Hold on. You said it incorrectly, and that's very disrespectful.
Said what? Oh, sorry. Douchebag, who wants to make money.
Dankeschön.
Bitteschön. They want to make money. They're a capitalist structure, right? They ESG, which is a socialist, set of rules, doesn't fit inside a capitalist structure. So, like, if they want to buy things that use energy to make money, which is how the system functions, it's not going to fit into an ESG narrative. So of course they're going to get fucking hit with the hypocrisy of greenwashing their investments. It's just, of course it was going to happen. It was always going to happen. It's going to continue happening. And we're going to get to watch it happen every time they get a slap on the wrist. You shouldn't invest in an Exxon. Oh, you shouldn't have mined cobalt with child labor. Oh, you shouldn't have used the private jet. It's bullshit.
But it's all good news because we got Bitcoin. If you got Bitcoin, you don't have to deal with this political stupid madness. Anyways, Optimus Fields, what are your thoughts, my friend, before we move on to the next fail?
Yeah, I don't have much to add. Just, further proof that ESG is a scam. It's just a play for control. And if you have enough money, you can escape the matrix. So, lessons in there.
Boom. Wisdom by Optimus Fields. Anyways, Phil, what is the next fail?
All right. I know. I feel like people are going to get mad, but here we go. Let's dive into this because it just keeps falling apart. If you've been following the show, you know what I'm talking about.
No, more.
It just because there's another. There's a protocol on it that's now falling apart. So here we go. Oh yeah, that's right. Mirror protocol. It's a very interesting name, right? Mirror. Anyways, here we go. Terra's Mirror protocol allegedly suffers new exploit. Decentralized finance application Mirror protocol, which is built on Terra, is allegedly suffering another exploit. The latest exploit has allegedly drained over $2 million with the potential for more due to a bug in the LUNC pricing oracle. Nico, you and I, we've talked about oracles before, right? And essentially what it does is it's supposed to tie the blockchain to real world data. So let's say you were placing a bet or something like that, and the horse that you wanted comes in and wins. Well, what would happen is that the oracle would then tell the blockchain to do something based off of that result, and essentially that's what the oracle provides. It provides this quote-unquote decentralized, we'll say autonomous real-world data.
Well, it isn't. That's the oracle problem. Who do you trust with the data?
LUNC, right? Like the acronym for this thing is called LUNC.
So obviously the oracle didn't work. Okay, that's obviously it's not doing what it's supposed to do. The mirror protocol is a DeFi platform that allows users to create and trade mirrored assets. This part I find funny. Or M assets that mirror the price of stocks, including major stocks traded on US exchanges. Yeah, I know. I'm shaking my head too. I'm like, why don't you just freaking go buy some stocks, man? This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So you're going to go buy a shitcoin that gives you zero claim of ownership instead of going to buy a stock, actual equity? Anyway, it just makes no sense.
It's a synthetic of a synthetic? Like what?
Synthetic of a synthetic of a synthetic. Anyways,
it's the future of finance, bro.
But let's go back, right? So now it's getting exploited now, but let's rewind. October 2021, Mirror Protocol succumbed to a $90 million exploit on the old Terra blockchain, Terra 1.0, which went unnoticed until last week. Think about that. Okay, so think about that now. There was a great
still investing in this thing. Like, where's the money coming from?
So
people are just offering up their money to lose it. Please burn this for me. Is that what's happening?
Dude, this is exactly what's happening. And Fatman, okay, this account, right? Fatman Terra has been covering this absolute shit show. And I think that this comment is very important. The entire mirror situation is a huge blow for me. Because personally, I truly believed that a decentralized stock market free of government control was one of the most powerful use cases for this technology. I hate to see it die like this. The reason why it's dying like this is because it's not real. It's not free of government control. It is not decentralized in any way, shape, or form. This is one of the many reasons why these things fail. And to the people who don't call these things pump and dumps and Ponzi schemes and all this stuff, I hate going to CoinMarketCap to point this out. Okay, I don't like doing this, but this is the Mirror all-time chart.
Yes, you do.
I'm zooming out completely.
You totally do like doing this.
No, I don't. I hate using the price because the price is just a moot point. No, the price is pointless. It isn't. I'm sorry, it is. You know, it's completely pointless. But look at what it illustrates here, right? Usually, you know me, Nico, I don't really go to those price charts, but in this case, you just have to show, look, guys, when you look at every single shitcoin, this is what they look like. They all look like complete garbage, okay? And if they don't, just wait. They're just not at that point in the cycle yet. That's all. Anyways, you know, your guys' thoughts on this? I don't know who wants to go first.
Another steaming pile of shit. What was that? So there was Luna, then there was
Mirror.
There was Luna 2, and some people were dumb enough to go a third try.
No, this has been around since 2020, though. This has been around for a while and failed last year and now failed again.
Yeah, I mean, look, so the Oracle problem, is a very difficult problem to solve, and it's just to break it down in the most basic, fundamental, language, I guess. Look, if the computer program or something has to decide, like, look, pay off this person if this team wins, if this team loses, pay off the other person. The problem is it gets corrupted. Who gets to decide what team won and what team didn't win, right? And that's the fundamental issue with the Oracle problem, right? And you can make it even more complex, right? And until that problem's solved, right? I'm not saying it isn't solvable. It just hasn't been solved. Only Bitcoin, I wouldn't even say it was a solution to the two Byzantine generals problem, right? Because I don't think you could solve these problems. I think you can come up with solutions with different trade-offs, right? There has not been a solution to the Oracle problem, meaning the decision still has to be made by a program or a human being or a federation, and that could be corrupted, unlike Bitcoin, right? That's what makes Bitcoin unique, is that it's literally uncorruptible, right? Because of the decentralization of the node network, right? And not to mention the miners, which makes the chain more secure, right? So there's decentralization there. Anything that uses, an Oracle, there's no, unless they figure out how to solve that problem, it's not decentralized. And if it's not decentralized, then what the fuck is the point of buying it? And what the fuck's the point of buying any of these shit coins, including the dollar? They're all centralized garbage, meaning they're all could be potentially influenced by human beings. And I think human beings are the problem in currency. We corrupt it, even with the best intentions. When the dollar was backed by gold, when the Romans, had a percentage in their silver coins, over time, every single example in history, human beings have debased the currency, the powers that be. With Bitcoin, we have the opportunity to break that cycle, right? With Ethereum or any of these shitcoins, it's not going to happen. You're not separating the money from the hands of humans. If Vitalik snaps his fingers, he could change the monetary policy of Ethereum. Now think about it from the perspective of, let's say Ethereum was the money of the United States. More bailouts for the banks, more bailouts for the stakers of Ethereum, right? Because they can change the money in order to benefit themselves. Bitcoin won't change no matter how much political pressure. It's meant to be like that, right? So if we want an uncorruptible money, we need to worry about decentralization. And clearly this shitcoin, like all the rest of them, don't have that.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. All right. Greg, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, dude, of course. It's another successful Bitcoin maximalist incubator, right? So round one, we got 90 million worth of people rugged. It's going to be some new Bitcoin maximalists. You know what? Some of them needed a second round. So here comes Lunk 2. Rug pull. Those are going to be some fierce maximalists. They're going to be done. They're going to be left side of the bell curve maximalists, the ones that had to go through number 2. But we welcome you just the same, fellas and ladies.
So
we'll most likely get to know them.
That's the second test. What about the third test?
I don't want them. They can go pick the next Bitcoin.
You deserve another shitcoin.
Oh man! All right,
yeah,
Optimus.
Keep going till you lose it all.
At that point, dude, if you fall for it 3 times, like, oh man. Okay, Optimus. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think I say it every time I'm on the fails, but play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And, like some people have to pay more tuition up front to get the lessons, and some of us have a cheaper upfront cost. But hopefully we all get to Bitcoin maximalism at the end of the day, and we realize that we just need to separate money from state, and that's why you should hold Bitcoin.
Absolutely. And but some people pay tuition 3 times and they still drop out.
Yeah, some people are just not going to make it.
They're just not going to make it. But anyways, Phil, it's time for
the Daily Meme Review. Brought to you by Citadel 21. It is the best Bitcoin pleb signal. That's right. There is artwork. There is stories by plebs. I'm trying to do this as well as Nico, but I can't. They are scarce. Check them out. So look, there's 1,000 copies of each. Once they're gone, they're gone. Anyways, citadel21.com. Check out the link down below.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Bitcoin Meme Review, where we review Bitcoin memes. Memes play an essential role in this information narrative trench warfare that we're fighting every single day on the battlegrounds of the internet. Anyways, let's check it out. And we have a meme warrior with us today. So he's gonna comment on how it is to be in the front lines. Anyways, I know this isn't a meme, but to me, it's totally a fucking meme. This is where the White House in 2021 bragged about how they saved Americans 16 cents from last year. That was 2021, so they're definitely not going to release this type of meme this year.
No, we should totally redo it for them.
Yeah, we should totally redo it. That is a great idea. All right. Greg Zag just came up with a meme idea. He's going to deliver.
Do it, Greg.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll definitely do that. Maybe
Good morning.
And you need to tag us, and we're gonna retweet.
We're gonna retweet the shit out of that.
Prices.
It's gonna be the meme review, the news, and the fail.
But I'm not sure which way to go with it. I'm not sure to be like, we're gonna spur the economy because we're charging you more for shit, or be like, or just like really shrinkflate the whole meal. Where it's like, you can have ice cubes and cheese slices for your 4th of July.
It's like a quarter of
American
an egg
cheese.
and the egg.
No eggs. That's real animal protein. We're talking like McDonald's
Empty plates,
cheese slices,
empty cups.
yeah, empty plates, empty styrofoam.
Oh man. Oh
Yeah.
Okay, we're
Not
having
the
too much
solo
fun.
cups.
Here we go.
All right.
It's fun in the meme review.
Bruh.
Okay, Optimus Fields with the soundboard. All right, anyways, next meme is brought to us by a fellow pleb, Den Hoddle. I know that you were this way because you were brainwashed, and I know that there's somebody deep down inside that huss you called mine. I wish I knew how to bring you back. It's a cringe? Can someone explain that to me? Okay, moving on. But next one by BTC Padre. Yeah, I don't know. BTC Padre. I think that person thought it was funny. Okay. Anyways, BTC Padre. Good try, RS. What my family thinks my UTXO's bags will looks like reality.
That's awesome.
Okay, that made up for this meme, bro.
Yeah, sure
I'm
did.
sorry, dude. I don't know what the fuck that means. Look what Copper Nixon says. I'm afraid of keychains. Oh man.
By the way, you know that Twitter handle is Copernicus' son.
No, it's actually Copper Nixon. It's actually Phil's alter ego.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Copper Nixon.
Everyone's confused.
Fair enough.
Next one by Jorts Norris. We got meme of the year, and I don't know about that. That's a big statement. In 2009, Bernie Madoff lost investors $60 billion. He was sentenced to 150 years in prison. In 2022, Do Kwon lost investors $60 billion after Luna collapsed to zero. He then created Luna 2.0 and people bought it.
There's still time.
Oh, man.
It's all I'll say on that.
Okay, next one. Traditional finance is buy lemons for sale. Traditional finance is broken. Stocks, bonds, and real estate. Bitcoin. Oh, okay. It's a basic meme, but it's a
basic
good meme.
meme, but they're
Good use
trying.
of the templates. Good use of the
Solid.
templates.
Stuff like this is counterproductive. It makes normal people hate Bitcoin. Nothing against Anonymous. And if you're a revolutionary, that's great. But we're not just trying to save rebellious teams. Your savings are being printed away. Plan B. Huh? How is that counterproductive? I disagree. That person sounds like a... Never mind. Okay. The Luna token is down 67% since its launch on May 28th. The value of the reissued coin dropped sharply on the first distribution. In 2 days, you were supposed to resurrect Luna. That's a good one. If you get Star Wars, you get that. Now listen, I reached out to famous investigative reporter Bob Malakas III, and breaking, Hex Crypto is now the official sports beverage of the Trampoline Basketball League of the Americas. And oh my god, that was too much. Okay. You put the laugh in it. It made me laugh harder.
The laugh made it better.
Holy shit.
Okay, all right. This episode is great. All right. I'm gonna give it this Greg's Kitchen.
That's my kitchen. You can't give it.
Greg's Kitchen. What would you give? What would you give that meme, Phil?
Greg, your kitchen's an NFT, and now Nico owns it.
Fair enough.
That's
Did
right.
Nico just copy paste my kitchen?
That's right. He just copy-pasted your kitchen. He owns it now. Deal with it.
Motherfucker.
That's right. Okay, so I'm going to give it very special score because, see, Nico made me pull out my Citadel 21 so I could do these ads. So I had to pull out something very special that I've never shown before. This is from, is it Monkey? Chief Monkey? It's this is the Crypto Anarchy 1.0. That's right. Very
What
cool.
is it?
It's the orange pill.
Nice.
That's right. It's very, very cool piece of Bitcoin artwork.
Very nice.
Anyways. Yeah.
Anyways, Greg.
I'll stick with Phil's vein. I'll give a piece of Bitcoin artwork. We'll go with Block Clock Mini. Hold on. Let's get it in here.
Yeah.
Let's get it in here.
Let's make sure we see it. The block clock deserves it.
Boom.
Oh, I'm changing my score.
Block Clock Mini.
I'm changing my score.
You're changing your score.
Yeah, we're pressuring Nico. What's happening right now? Okay, so hold on. Before Nico, do you want to give your score before Optimist?
Yeah, but now it's gone.
You already gave my whole kitchen.
Yeah, and I was going to give your bedroom as well, but you took it off. So
This is mine now.
Optimist, what would you give those memes?
All right, fire memes, guys. I'm gonna give this Stacking Sats Bitco sticker.
Oh! I saw his eyes. I saw Optimist's eyes. Now you know.
Bruh.
Anyways, guys, we want to know if you agree with our scores, you disagree. Let us know down in the comment section. Comment. Helps us with the mysterious YouTube algorithm. Make sure to subscribe to us on alternative video platforms like rumble.com and our personal favorite, bitcointv.com. They don't censor there. It's Bitcoin TV. And join our awesome Telegram group where you can link us some awesome Bitcoin memes to review. It's a party in there. Join it. Telegram. It's cool. Links down below. But anyways, Phil, it's time for
the Daily News. Brought to you by Crypto Cloaks. Check them out, cryptocloaks.com, for all your 3D printed needs. I've got some different things than Nico, but some are the same. So first, check out it is the Cold Power, that's right, 3D printed Cold Power case. And I also have the 3D printed Honey Badger. And unlike Nico, I store FUD dice in it. Anyways, check out cryptocloaks.com. You can also get node cases, keychains. They've got a promo code for 5% down below.
Today, I'm going to talk about something that I'm personally going through, Phil has gone through recently, Greg has gone through as well, and most people, our generation, right? The millennial, Gen X generation. And we have it significantly harder than our parents. It's no secret, right? And a lot of people think, especially in the United States, that it's the economic system that's broken. It's capitalism, right? I hear this all the time, late stage capitalism. What we're experiencing is crony capitalism, and crony capitalism that is mostly controlled by the politicians and the central bankers. And the reasons that things have been getting more and more expensive for our generation. Our generation is the poorest generation, right? Since they've been taking track of generations. And let me pull up some articles to back up the case that I'm making. This is an article by the Wall Street Post, the unluckiest generation in U.S. history, right? So I wasn't exaggerating when I said that, talking about the millennial generation. This is an article by Business Insider. It says, widening wealth inequality has been a feature of American life in the 21st century, but the virus pandemic has amplified a growing gap within the millennial generation. At the turn of 2020, a large part of the generation was still grappling with the fallout from the 2008 financial crisis, when they were slammed with their second recession before its oldest members even hit 40. This only intensified decade-long financial challenges, including a dismal job market, sky-high levels of student debt, and soaring living costs. I would like to make the argument that is not the fault of the so-called economy. That is the fault of fiat money. Anyways, moving on. Here's another article, right? A generation locked in the UK's saving crisis. Article goes on to say, it's talking about this person, Kieran Daly. It says, since graduating in 2021, the 22-year-old film and television producer graduate has left hospitality work for a role in business administration and lives with his partner in Manchester. He has a stable salary, complete with holidays, sick pay, and other benefits, and has never had to double check his bank account before buying something he wants. But Like many other young Britons, he has a looming sense of financial unease, a fear that the deepening cost of living crisis is making it harder to manage money from one month to the next month or plan something, let alone to save for the future. Why is that? Fiat money. Hold on, I'm not done making my case. So here is this website, apartmentlist.com. Says, how does millennial home ownership compare to previous generations? At 25, the millennial generation X and boomer homeownership rates were roughly at 30%. But by 35, after a decade of prime home buying years, millennial home ownership rose to just 53%, while Gen X and baby boomers reached 60%, and the silent generation neared 70%. So it looks like the sounder the money in American history, the more opportunity these people have. And again, here's this very interesting website called What the F Happened in 1971. And this is what this article was talking about. This is what this article was talking about. This is what this article was talking about. What happened in 1971? Well, we all know Richard Nixon took us off the gold standard and the fiat experiment began, right? And what really happened? Compensation stayed the same, but productivity went up. But for some reason, we are poorer than our parents. We are poorer than the previous generations. What's going on here? And all this data, for some reason, it all starts near 1971. Look at that. Look, back in the day, both spouses are working. 66%. In 1970, the husband was working. That was 38%. That has gone down to 21%. More women in the workforce, or men, 66%, but still, millennials, Gen X, are still poorer than their parents. And why don't we compare housing prices as well? So in 1971, a new house was $25,000. If you run it through the inflation calculator, $25,000 to today is $180,000. What is the average home price in the United States today? $374,000. Now, before I get to the solution to this, why is all of this happening? Why do the rich keep getting richer? Why do the housing prices keep going higher? Very, very basic explanation. The cantillionaire effect. We've been talking about this for a while. When the federal government prints money, the more they print, it's a wealth redistribution from the lower and middle classes, top to the 1% and to the government. Because the wealthy have the means to save in real estate, they have the means to save in equities, they have the means to save in stocks. But all us plebs, all us deplorables, all us peasants that don't have that extra capital, we're stuck saving and earning in cash, which is constantly being debased and inflated away. So when you see the problems of the millennial generation, when you see the problems of the Gen X generation, remember this has nothing to do with capitalism. We haven't been in a capitalist society. We've been in a crony capitalist society where the politicians and the bankers and the bureaucrats are the most powerful people in society, and they use the system, they gain the system to benefit themselves. With Bitcoin, we have an option to fix this system, right? Because in the eyes of the Bitcoin network, everyone is equal, right? Everyone has to get in line, pay the same amount of electricity, but it also gives us a solution to the problem that we have today. And I'm going to pull up one of my favorite websites before I pass it back to you guys. This is priced in Bitcoin. This is the benefit of saving, which is what we always recommend on this show, in a deflationary currency. This is what happens. Life doesn't get more expensive like this poor guy in this poor 2022 this 22-year-old who has a stable salary, he's making good money, but he's still worried day to day if he could be able to afford things. because he's working on an inflationary currency, but this is the power of working on a deflationary currency. So this is price Bitcoin 21. A medium home price, if you saved in Bitcoin, would be 89.76% cheaper. Even if you just waited 3 years, it would be 63% cheaper in Bitcoin. But it's not just housing. It's everything. It's a medium new house, 89% cheaper. Average new car, 89% cheaper. Chicken breast, 90% cheaper. Ground beef, 90% cheaper. Steak, 87% cheaper. You like beer? 91% cheaper. Chocolate chip cookies, 91% cheaper. And for Greg, special shout out, potatoes are 91.71% cheaper.
Greg is a potato.
So, what is the point of all this? Why am I saying all this? They caused the problem. The politicians caused the problem. They printed too much money. This central bank fiat system is going to continue making things more and more and more expensive to benefit an elite group of people, while the rest of us have to continue working harder and harder and harder just to be able to afford a living. That needs to change. Bitcoin will change that over time. But what you could do immediately is start getting on a Bitcoin standard. Instead of thinking of what is my net worth in dollars, the thing that you should be thinking about is how much Bitcoin do I have? Do I have more Bitcoin today than I did yesterday? And you will see, I promise you, because Greg has experienced this, Optimus has experienced this, Phil has experienced this, life will get cheaper for you as the years go by. And that is the polar opposite of what is happening in the fiat system. So anyways, Phil, what are your thoughts on this? Does any of this make sense? I was putting so many pieces together. I don't know.
No, dude, it definitely makes a lot of sense. And I think you did a great job putting that together. There was one part of that article that really highlighted the, to me anyways, the massive, because I'm a Gen Xer, so it really highlighted the issue, right? A 35-year-old in 1981 was more likely to own a home than a 35-year-old in 2016. Like my father, by the age of, by the age of 35, had already owned one townhouse, sold it, and then moved into a single-family home by the age of 35. Whereas for me, like I was living in a rented apartment at the age of 30, just finishing to pay some student debt. And I was able to get my first home at the age of 35. So, and don't get me wrong, but like in my particular case, I'm sure I could have gone out on my own sooner, right? But I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to stay home and I'm going to save so that I can make it a little bit easier. And the problem is this, right? We hear this bullshit all the time. Oh, think about the children, children of the future, all this crap. So if anybody really believed that was true, why the hell would you debase the currency and make everybody poorer and make your children these wonderful special people that are so amazing? Why would you make them all suffer? It's hypocritical, psychotic crap. And it all comes down to, that we've said, the broken money, right? They've been able to enrich the central bankers have been able to enrich themselves, gain the majority of the wealth, and we'll say the control over the majority of the power structures. And at the same time, every single person has so much less. And it's not that you have so much less in terms of an amount. I'm not talking about quantity. It doesn't matter that you have so much. It's the quality of that abundance is garbage. It's getting worse. So, you know what? At some point, there is going to be a generation that is going to be born that will have it so freaking impossible that the wheels are literally going to fall off.
Yep.
And at that point, maybe more people are going to listen. Because I know that we talk about like, there's more people waking up every day and this and that. But at the end of the day, the majority of people are completely asleep.
Absolutely right.
So we really do need the wheels to fall off, unfortunately.
Man, it's very unfortunate to say the least. Anyways, Greg Zag, what are your thoughts on this, my friend?
I don't want the wheels to fall off. I want a gradual transition. I mean, you ever do a network transfer, right? So I know Phil was in technology. I worked on a bunch of like really high-end industrial networking systems. And like when you were putting in a new system for somebody, you need that old system to remain functional as you slowly integrate the new one and work out the bugs. And like, that's what's happening between finance now and Bitcoin. That's why, like, if the wheels fall off that old network, everybody's going to have a bad day. So I don't want the wheels to fall off. I just want them to come apart slowly. That would be good. But I know I'm about as old as you can be and still be a millennial. I'm like the first part of that like grouping. And it definitely feels a little bit like you're the unluckiest generation. Like for all the major events in like my life, there's been some sort of financial fucking terribleness. So like right around the time I was graduating high school was the .com bust. So like anybody going into the workforce in that point in time was like, what do we do? And like then like right after you're graduating, at the same time you're graduating college, there's the 2008 financial crisis. And then like by the time you and all your homies are having like kids, like there's a pandemic. And I know none of this stuff is planned or like none of this is on purpose, but it kind of feels personal. You know, it feels a little personal at this point.
The universe doesn't like you guys, Greg.
They're rigging it. They're rigging it.
You're the Megs of the universe.
Anyways, Freddy Cougar. I mean, Optimus Field. What's up? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, as a millennial, it definitely feels like we've been molded by financial crises, and it's just like a part of the bag. And, you know, if I didn't have found Bitcoin, I don't know where I'd be. So, like, it's a simple meme, like, Bitcoin changes you, you don't change Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the escape. Like, Bitcoin is the exit, guys. So, you know, it's beautiful to see the priced in Bitcoin chart and just see like what has happened through your hodl and like, oh wow, my life has gotten cheaper. I have been able to escape the matrix. Like as we say all the time, or I say all the time, like finding Bitcoin's end is like paramount in your life. Like being able to slow down and hodl Bitcoin and save in Bitcoin and not have to deal with the fiat world melting around you, it does wonders to your psyche. So guys, save in Bitcoin and maybe you can one day buy a house. Hopefully, we'll see.
Absolutely. No, dude, that is the signal. And that's where I want to end this, right?
You gonna buy a house?
Yeah. There.
On the show?
On the show, right there. On the show.
Hey,
on
yeah,
the show right now.
Let's do this!
Woo! All right. So, soundboard this, Optimus, is going to be legendary. If you want to save for a better future, buy yourself some Bitcoin. Look how much. Medium house, 5 years, 89% cheaper. 3 years, 63% cheaper. Beer, 69% cheaper. And most importantly, potatoes, 71. And if Greg waits 5 years, 91% cheaper. That is the power of deflationary money. Bitcoin fixes this both ways, fixes the system, and gives you a shot to potentially become a home owner. Anyway, so there was an open. I feel there was an open source software release today. Why didn't tell everybody about it?
Software releases brought to you by CipherSafe. Check them out, cyphersafe.io. Don't store your seed on paper, and definitely do not use a potato. Store your seed in the Cypher wheel or the all-new Cypher grid. They both come with a tamper-resistant wire, and the grid comes with a punch tool. All right, we've got seed tool version 1.0.7 that was released. It's down below in the show notes. Guys, don't forget to check us out on our audio-only platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. Also, if you want to stream us sats, check us out on fountain.fm. You could stream us sats through Breeze. Of course, we can't forget to mention our...
Balls.
What?
One, of course, we can't forget to mention our awesome clothing swag sponsor. That's right, I'm talking about representltd.com. Check it out. That's right. Nico's sporting that hoodie. I'm sporting the Bitcoin hoodie. They're coming out with Simply Bitcoin merch. They've got Bitcoin merch. Check them out for a 10% off coupon. Anything in the Represent store. That's representltd.com. Just want to give a special shout out to our awesome guests, Optimist Field at My Living Truth and Greg Zaj at Greg Zaj1 from the Meme Factory and the Meme Factory podcast, and trying to get me to screw up my stuff during this show. That's right, Greg and Optimist, awesome guests. Guys, don't forget to smash the likes and subscribe if you want to see more amazing content like this, where we take apart the central bankers and we make fun of the shit coins and we provide some awesome Bitcoin signal from the plebs, for the plebs,
by the plebs.